What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 2nd Street. Captain Marvel will soon be flying into the theaters, and I've got plenty of theories that I want to present you all with in today's video. Now make sure you stay to the end, where I will shamelessly plug some products and services and continue to flap my gums about a giveaway that I will be doing very soon. So make sure you're subscribed and stuff. Now, as I said, Captain Marvel will be arriving in theaters soon, and there's certainly no shortage of trailers or TV spots for us to draw speculation from. It also seems like there's not a day that goes by that one of the stars from the movie is on a TV show where they're releasing even more information. Now, the reason they're doing this is to build hype for this movie, as Captain Marvel is just now being introduced into the MCU. A couple of other characters have benefited from the universe building around them, chief amongst those being Spider-Man and Black Panther, as they were introduced to us in Captain America Civil War. The last one to be introduced to us in a solo film without any prior introduction was Doctor Strange. Now, as I said, there are many theories that I have that relate to this movie, as we see in the trailers most of the obvious things. Now, one of the things I would like to point out is everybody thinks that we're going to see how Nick Fury lost his eye, but I really don't think we're going to get that in this movie. People keep pointing to the scar above his eye, but we can see in the trailer that he is obviously in a big car crash with a bus, so I'm thinking his head probably hit the steering wheel or something like that at that time, and that's all that happened. It wasn't that cute little kitty. Now, there are some characters that I do think we'll be seeing in this movie, and it's been speculated that we will see some of the Avengers in the past in this film. There are a few that I think we will definitely see, and not all of them are Avengers, but they are people that are in the MCU that I believe we'll meet. The first one being Colonel James Rhodes. Now, at the time, he wouldn't have been a colonel, but he was in the Air Force, and that makes it a high possibility that we would see him in this movie. He was in the Air Force, and even in the comics, he was a romantic love interest of Carol Danvers for a little while. I don't think that we're going to get a love story out of any of it, but I think there's a chance that we will still see Colonel James Rhodes in the movie. Second one are the Starks. Okay, there is Howard and Tony Stark. I think there is a high chance we'll see both of these characters in the movie, but it's really hard to say. Now, the reason I believe we will see these characters is obviously Howard is the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's been developing weapons and helping them further their agenda. So they were developing weapons, and he was obviously working with the United States Air Force when they were making and researching and developing these weapons. Now, Tony Stark, I believe, would be there. Let's not forget that Tony Stark did graduate MIT at the age of 17, and he was born in 1970, and that would put him 17 in about 1987. So that just leads me to believe that there is a high chance that these characters will be showing up in this movie. It just seems obvious that Howard Stark would be there while S.H.I.E.L.D. is having some new weapons tested along with the Air Force. I mean, let's just think about that one for a second. It just seems a little obvious, doesn't it? Maybe it's just me. The third person I believe we will see in this film is Hank Pym. Now, there are a great many reasons for that, the top one being the fact that he was working with Howard Stark at S.H.I.E.L.D. to research and develop weapons. Stark Industries and even S.H.I.E.L.D. were helping develop weapons for the Air Force and the government, so it would only make sense that he was there. Also, Hank Pym, on his first mission for S.H.I.E.L.D., actually went to Siberia to retrieve some plans for some stolen brainwashing Hydra tech, and he also destroyed a machine that was being tested on a volunteer at that time. Now, this machine, this brainwashing tech, was actually the same tech that we seen used on Bucky Barnes. And this was all covered in the Ant-Man Prelude comic. Now, the biggest reason I believe Hank Pym will be in the movie is what kind of movie would it be if you weren't out testing some new technology and new weapons, and all of a sudden a serious attack happens and you have to go take care of that serious attack with your new prototype weapons. What kind of movie would it be? Okay, so I'm gonna guess this all happens in 1987. Carol Danvers is in the Air Force. We see all the references to Top Gun. Top Gun was released in 1986, and let's just say, for instance, this does happen in 1987 when she's out testing out these new weapons for S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Air Force, and while she's out testing, this serious threat happens because maybe there just happens to be some separatists who happen to hijack a missile silo in Kursk, and maybe they decide to launch some ICBMs at the United States, and maybe they're scrambled to go take care of and take down those missiles, because Hank and Janet couldn't get them all taken care of, but they did get the one taken care of. 1987, just like in Ant-Man. And let's just say it happens then. Hank Pym would have been there. Carol Danvers was soon to disappear after the explosion that we see in the trailer. That's just what I'm guessing. I'm just spitballing here. That also puts it at 1987. She comes back in 1996, about 10 years later, which, as we know, Hank Pym said in the Ant-Man and Wasp movie, he spent the next 10 years studying the quantum realm, and what he found out is that we don't know anything. Now, why would he only spend the next 10 years studying the quantum realm? Why wouldn't he continue to studying it until he got there and figured out some way back or what to do once he's there? Why would he just stop? Why just the next 10 years? Well, I believe he studies just for the next 10 years because maybe Carol Danvers comes back and maybe he meets her again at that time. She has to come to him, or maybe he just happens to see something and goes and tracks her down. It's really hard to say. I can't exactly explain how that would all happen, but I'm just saying perhaps Hank Pym is in it due to these reasons. It would just make sense to why he stopped studying it after 10 years, as he did say himself that he only spent the next 10 years studying the quantum realm. But what do you all think? Do you think there's a chance we'll see James Rhodes? Do you think we'll see Howard Stark, Tony Stark, or even Hank Pym? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Now, before I let you all go, I want to tell you all about the Mountain Man Nut and Fruit Company. You can find a link down in the description where you can go and shop from hundreds of items and have them shipped directly to your door. Mountain Man Nut and Fruit Company are the purveyors of fine nuts, dried fruits, and chocolates, and they have great items such as this Santa Fe Sizzle. Santa Fe Sizzle has jalapeno pretzel pieces, spicy peanuts, nacho corn sticks, barbecue corn sticks, peanuts, all kinds of different spicy crunchy goodness. You can find this and all kinds of other trail mixes at the link down in the description and have them shipped directly to your door. Also, while you're down there, make sure you check out the Vigilantes for Children's social media sites and check out their store where you can order shirts, hats, decals, so you can show your support for their cause. There are also links down there for all my social media sites. There's Twitter, Facebook, and even Instagram. Whichever platform you're on, let me know. Maybe I can get an account there if I don't have one already. Thank you all so much for tuning into the 2nd Street Marvel today, and make sure you're subscribed and click the little bell so you get notifications anytime we have uploaded new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also, make sure you leave a comment down below, as commenting is the way to get entered into any of the giveaways that we are doing on this channel. We are getting ready to do one here at the very end of February, and I did just announce one last Friday on my live show that I do every Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time called the Trailer Park Live. So make sure you tune in for that, or you can always check in the rerun for the comic book pull list that I do every Friday night, where I also announce the same question for the giveaway that I will announce on Friday evening. Thank you all so much once again for checking out the 2nd Street Marvel. Make sure you share this video with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on 2nd Street. Have a great day. They give me a bottle of rum.